Welcome to Sports Geek Throwback. Here's your host, the sports geek himself, Sean Callanan.
G'day, I'm Sean Callanan from Sports Geek, and welcome to Sports Geek Throwback, where I pick out the best bits from the Sports Geek podcast archive. For this Sports Geek Throwback, I go back to episode 299 with Carlson, who was working at the Philadelphia Eagles when we published this episode in April 2021. A fellow Aussie, Kath is now working at the Brooklyn Nets as EVP of Global Partnerships for BSE Global. Remember, if you need help with your digital, marketing or sponsorship teams, please get in touch. That's what we do in applying the digital dollars process to help teams build revenue from digital. In this throwback episode, Kath and I discuss the strategy behind growing revenue and developing new revenue opportunities. Remember, you can listen to the full episode at sportsgeekhq.com/299. Enjoy.
So one of the things when you see someone that has revenue and strategy in their title is the push to find like non-traditional or new avenues of revenue. How do you balance the, hey, I've got this great fan base, there's more work and more mining to be done with this main fan base, and we could, potentially get more money out of certain segments, that kind of thing too. Oh, we do want to do, play in these new areas. How do you balance that with your role?
Yeah, look, I think my job is to uncover new revenue opportunities, and I think some of the most interesting examples this year or in the past, probably 18 months has been in the legalized sports gambling category. Relatively new to the US, but that's just been an interesting one to navigate and figure out what's the best strategy on it moving forward. And I will tell you, the league, the NFL really set up a gambling policy for us. So that was kind of our guardrails, if you will. And it really had four key pieces or objectives. And that's sort of my guiding principles and how we create the strategy and opportunities. And the first one, which is really important, no matter what part of the world you're in, but protecting the integrity of the game. So we know that's an important piece to it. Maintaining the NFL and the team's brand reputation. So that's important. Driving fan engagement, because what we've realized is, starting with fantasy sports and now in the legalized gambling space, is it definitely drives fan engagement. And then the final one, which is where I come into play, is growing those commercial opportunities. So for us, it was interesting. If you'd asked me my strategy 2 years ago, I would have said, this is my strategy, Sean. There's three distinct parts of the gambling space. There's bricks and mortar. So in other words, the land-based casinos. I would tell you there's fantasy sports, which was growing and growing immensely in the US. And then the legalized sports gambling piece. But now, 2 years later, I would say all three have merged together. So every piece of that strategy, they all, like fantasy sports is now into legalized sports gambling. Casinos have online gambling or online casinos, and legalized sports betting. Some are standalone, but a lot have partnerships with all of those three. And so that consolidation really made you think, okay, what's the best strategy for us moving forward? So really, we actually have three different partners in the space. We made a strategic decision to be non-exclusive, and I think that's really worked for us. Each of our three partners, so we have Unibet, FoxBet, and DraftKings, but each of them have such distinct different objectives, and so we've been able to really create and manage the share of voice, so that there's still there's a lot of value there. They're not all identical; they all have very different needs and objectives in partnering with a property such as the Eagles. So, yeah, I mean that's the fun part of my job is navigating and figuring out how do we best work in this space and drive revenue, but at the same time we're providing tremendous value back to our clients. So We're having a lot of fun with it. During COVID, we built an entire new lounge, a VIP lounge, about 4,000 square feet in the base of the event level of a Lincoln Financial Field. It's called the Foxbet Lounge, and we're launching it this season. So just things like that was, things that we were doing in COVID. We were still constructing a space, which is kind of incredible when you think about everything that was going on. So yeah, this is a space that I think will continue to grow. I definitely think the NFL will continue to maybe loosen the restrictions a little bit, or it's a cautious approach, I understand, but I do think there's some opportunities to continue to grow in this space.
If you like this Sports Geek Throwback episode, please check out the full episode at sportsgeekhq.com. Please share Sports Geek with your sports business colleagues. We appreciate you sharing. We love working with podcast listeners. Please get in touch so we can help your team. Go to sportsgeekhq.com/phone call. All Sports Geek episodes are available at sportsgeekhq.com and all podcast platforms.